Hi and welcome to the 35th ADAC Truck Grand Prix. It's the fourth round of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. We are at the ring. There's only just one ring. This is the Nürburgring with over 100,000 fans attending this weekend. We do see the Innovation Camp, we see the Truck Festival, we see the paddock fully packed, and of course we do see our beloved trucks on the grid with all the teams. We're standing here at Team Sasha Lance. Jamie Anderson also took some pictures ahead of race one. The qualifying took place yesterday. But before we concentrate on this fantastic sport, let's take a small moment to remember, because 1 year ago the region of Ahrweiler was hit by a severe flood and the ring became a camp for military responses and civilian responders. And the race teams who were already here, they helped. They collected lots of items, delivering those needed items. And yeah, they stood together in times of crisis. Once more, one truck, family more than a hashtag. But now let's look forward to this fun sport with is truck racing, and we do have a field of 19 trucks this time. Chas Drakert, I know for you it has been more difficult to come here to Germany, take a flight, then it's more difficult than to ride a truck, I suppose. But I'm glad you're here with us today, Chas.
Yes, thank you very much indeed, Christina. It is absolutely wonderful to be here this weekend at the Nürburgring, at the ADAC International Truck Grand Prix. It is an absolute honour to be here at this wonderful circuit. It's a massive shame about last year as well, of course, and it's just great to see it all in action. Great to have some new drivers and new names on the grid as well. It's been really, really interesting to see how they've been getting on. A 19 truck grid, certainly a belter. Qualifying yesterday started out with quite the packed circuit. You can see here early on there were a number of drivers just trying to get their own little space to get started on some of their laps and have the extra room around them to try and improve. But it was Norbert Kisch that once again took pole position. He takes the 5th out of 5 pole positions so far this season, and well, it's just unbelievable dominance from Norby. And the rest of the field behind were so close throughout the entire session. You know, every single moment they were really close together. There was only a couple of hundredths separating second place all the way down to 7th. I was stood in one of the pit garages during the session and keeping my eye on things, and so many of the teams were incredibly nervous with how little a difference the drivers needed to make to improve. Adam Lachko went quick near the end of the session and would end up in second place. Sasha Lenz would start from the second row of the grid, Jochen Hahn joining him. Jamie Anderson, the highest placed driver in the Promoters Cup.
Thank you very much, Chas. You're always keeping an eye on everything. We're glad that you're here. We're here at the Innovation Camp, and this truck seems like he's taken a bow in front of nature, because this is what it's all about. We do and we need to preserve our nature, and this is the first hydrogen truck we do see at the Innovation Camp. The Innovation Camp joins us on every race weekend, and this is really good to see. This is a Hyundai, lots of people taking pictures. Let's have a look inside. Do we see this great perspective here? How does that work? That's really good to see for all the drivers. They're really interested how the hydrogen feeds the engine over here. So the Innovation Camp, good motivation and perspective for all the drivers. Have a look and experience the new trucks, the new truck technologies. Of course, this is also an industry meeting here. And yesterday I was attending I was at the Iveco tent, and we were having a chat with one of the Iveco managers over there. Please have a look. Have a look. The business director from Iveco Magirus AG, Christian Sulzer. Hi, nice to see you here back at the Nürburgring. We're ahead of the Iveco tent. You're really lots of people here gathering around. What is the main perspective for this weekend for you?
The main perspective is we have sunny weather, we have a great event, and we are happy to be back now after the big catastrophe of last year with the flood, and we had so many victims here in this region, and we had to break down everything. We started the Truck Grand Prix, but we had to break down. We gave our trucks to the people to serve the other people to help, but now we have a regular Truck Grand Prix and everybody's happy, the drivers, the visitors, the team. Yes.
And also we had the corona pandemic before that. It was really tough also for the industry. How is it to see everyone back and also get in touch personally again?
It's not everybody is back. No, Iveco is back. We started, I think the last time we were here 2019 before the pandemic, and we released our new trucks, the S-Way. It was a great event, more than 100,000 people coming here, seeing all the trucks. But now we are the only OEM here, so come to visit Iveco. And I think we need to stick to our drivers, to our customers, and we continue this approach also the next years, and a big commitment to the Truck Grand Prix.
Absolutely, but also full understanding for everyone absent, because due to the corona pandemic, it was not so easy to explain to all the people, for example, in short work, so that we are all back here. But it's good to see you here. What is the plan for today?
We have a dealer convention here, so we invite our dealers. The first convention that we do live, not via Teams, in 2 years' time. So we invite them to the Truck Grand Prix, that they are also getting the touch with the race teams. We invite the race teams. We will have some taxi drives on the racetrack. And so it's a kick-off day. And tomorrow then customers, drivers, and also Sunday.
Big spectacular things going around here. So you need to go on stage right now, but let's go have a look inside. Come on. So, and also you can challenge your luck over here at Iveco. Let's have a look. Oh, it's a small luck for me. That's all right then. Back to you. Yes, but huge luck for us also. We do see the trucks lining up here. Let's have a look. This is Norbert Kisch. He's the leader of the pack with his fire red MAN with the number 1 on it. This is race 1 here at the prestigious track of Nürburgring. I had the chance to take a taxi ride with Norbert Kisch, for example. This was really such a fun experience, and I could see that some turns are really, really narrow. It's such an interesting track, isn't it, Chaz? You've been on the pace track this morning, so I hope you're as excited as I am to see finally the racing here at the Nürburgring after 2 years' absence.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so excited to get the racing underway today. Feels like we've already been here for quite a while, to be honest with you, but it's been a great weekend so far. I was a bit gutted that I missed out on the media rides on the Thursday, but my initial flight was cancelled and I had to get a second one, but that's just part and parcel of the situation. It's a beautiful weekend here at the Nürburgring, plenty of sunshine and plenty of fantastic fans who have all made the journey here to come and see the International Truck Grand Prix. And as you see now, the drivers and teams all making their way to the grid, and they're about to line up and get things underway. Adam Lachko with a fantastic qualifying session yesterday, put it second on the grid, and he'll be absolutely over the moon with that. He'll be looking forward to a tidy start, of course, alongside Norbert Kisch. There's a number of other drivers that will be behind trying to fight their way through as well. Antonio Alberthetti in 5th place with Jamie Anderson in 6th. Those two on row 3 looking very feisty in the early stages of qualifying. And then we have Teo Calve, who, to be honest with you, Teo had a very difficult day on Thursday. And he was not really up there with the sort of fastest times or in the usual positions that we see him. He's had issues with brake discs, having severe reliability issues with them. And I was speaking to his father, Fabian Calve, and he was saying that there's some sort of bad luck black cat walking around somewhere that they need to try and get rid of. And in qualifying, Teo did a great job and got up to 7th position. So we hope that his race can go just as well and he can turn that luck around. He's dropped in the Promoters' Cup to 3rd position. He's now behind Jamie Anderson and Shane Brereton. Jamie Anderson winning all 4 races in the Promoters' Cup at the Slovakia ring and moves himself right to the top of the standings, 9 points clear of his countryman Shane Brereton. Shane has 3 wins and 9 podiums in the category so far this season, so he's certainly having a good run in the championship. In the overall grand scheme of things, it is Norbert Kisch ahead of Sascha Lenz and Jochen Hahn. And speaking of Adam Lachko, who I mentioned a moment ago, Christina is down there with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Adam Lachko, you made a great time to qualifying at the Super Pole and starting here at the Nürburgring after 2 years absence. That's really great. And I remember This track, you also liked it very well in the past.
Yeah, I like it, the Nürburgring, because it's very nice weekend. It's very long weekend, and when you start on the first line, it's perfect.
So I just experienced how narrow it is at some turns. It's really interesting. Where are the possibilities to take over?
Oh, it's very hard to say. It's possible in every corner, but when is the place there? But we will see. I hope I'm on the front and I not must somebody past.
Absolutely. There are also lots and lots of fans attending. How do you see this weekend until so far with all the perspectives, all the fans over here?
It's very nice we are back here and the spectators coming, and I hope we make a nice show without the crash and there's no restart, and we finish very nice and smooth.
Thank you very much. So we also want to see a great show, don't we, Charles?
Yes, we do indeed, and I think we are going to have a wonderful time of it. You know, all the teams, all the drivers, they're in really high spirits ahead of this one, and I know that they're all feeling positive about what a fantastic weekend this is. You know, it's a humongous weekend for the championship. Wonderful to be back. I actually got the chance to witness the incredible game of Go and Stop that they play here at the Nürburgring. Now, if you've never heard of Go and Stop, put simply, they have two trucks in a sort of drag race format down the start-finish straight. And then at the end of it, they have three bollards in a triangle formation, and they have to hit the first bollard but not the second pair, and it's whoever hits them first, basically, without knocking all of them over. It's a very odd game, but a very hilarious one at that, and it's been a lot of fun to watch it as the weekend has gone on. And there's plenty of cones and bollards and all sorts thrown around. There is Jochen Hahn's team all working away on the back of his number 4 Iveco. He's starting truck number 4 in P number 4 on the grid. He's got Sasha Lenz alongside him, as you see there. Sasha starting in 3rd position. For a lot of the qualifying yesterday, he was up in 2nd place, but Adam putting that lap in just near the end was really impressive. And of course, gets one of his very few front row starts this season, actually. Adam has done an amazing job, though. And he's in also high spirits as well. But Norbert Kish, well, I said earlier it was his 5th pole position. I have to correct myself because it's actually his 7th pole position this season. And I know that Norby, he was pretty calm when I spoke to him in the paddock yesterday. He said it was just going well, everything was running smoothly, and he just needs to keep the pace up at the front and extend his championship lead even further. He's on 160 points coming into this one, with Sasha Lenz on 128. So he's got a massive advantage. And there he is behind the wheel of his MAN, chatting away ahead of the start of the race. You can see just how busy the cabs are in these trucks as well, just how much is going on inside them. They are incredible machines. There is the Iveco S-Way pace truck at the front of the grid as well, which I was in this morning with Frank. He was doing the installation laps around the circuit and he scared the living daylights out of me. But it's always interesting to see how well these trucks move around a circuit. There's the gorgeous Bagheera ZM Racing Freightliner of Adam Lachko. They're a very unique shape, these long-nosed trucks. They look amazing, and the livery is very complimentary of it as well. Speaking of complimentary liveries as well, we have Sasha Lenz down there with Christina.
Yeah, one of the hometown heroes here, Sasha Lenz. So welcome to Nürburgring, finally. I mean, we also remembered last year the flooding disaster, and there are also lots of donations going on this weekend. But we do focus on the sports right now. How good is it to be back?
Yeah, I'm really happy that we can drive here on the Nürburgring. Completely fans and everything coming here for see the race weekend, and yeah, I'm really happy. We have a good chance for the podium this weekend, and yeah, we will see.
Absolutely, vice champion competing for this championship title, of course, this season. Any chances this weekend?
Yeah, it's a little bit more stress here. There were completely sponsors and the friends and all here, but the focus on the race. And 1 hour before we go out for the grid, I go back in my trailer and I make a little bit relax. And yeah, I hope it was good. We will see after the race.
Thank you very much. So let's give him a bit of time to relax again.
Yeah, that's important before the races. These drivers getting their relaxation in and just getting into the right mindset ahead of the race, preparing themselves for what is to come. We have 4 races this weekend, as we normally do, in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. We have another qualifying session, though, tomorrow, which will set the 3rd grid of the weekend. Of course, the grids for races 2 and 4 are determined by the finishing order of the race prior to them, with the top 8 reversed. We just caught a glimpse of Tim Frost there at the side of Jamie Anderson's truck. Look at the size of the turbochargers on these things. They are absolute monsters, aren't they? Absolute monsters indeed. So, we have our starting grid all lined up and ready to go. And we will have Norbert Kish and Adam Lachko on the front row together for the first time in quite a while, actually. It's great to see Adam at the very front of the grid once again. And here is said grid. Norbert Kish, 1:53.870, nearly an entire second quicker than everybody else, once again showing that he's got incredible pace around this circuit. Sascha Lenz and Jochen Hahn, 2 drivers that are really looking to take a win this weekend in front of their home fans, and they'll want to knock the top 2 off those top spots. Antonio Albacete starts 5th. Jamie Anderson continues an incredible run of form at the moment with 6th position overall on the grid. He's just ahead of the young Frenchman Theo Calve and Andre Kurzim joining him on row 4. Another solid qualifying by Andre. Steffi Halm starts from 9th position, and we have the wonderful Lucas Hahn starting in 10th place. It's great to have Lucas back on the grid once again in the championship. Shane Brereton starts 11th alongside Jose Rodriguez. Shane wasn't too chuffed with not making it through to Superpole yesterday, but he only just missed out in the end, so still plenty of work to do. Stefan Faas and Anthony Janiak will start on the row 7 of the grid, numbers 24 and 66 side by side, and then the grid keeps on growing. Louis Requenco starts in 15th place. He's alongside Heinrich Clemens Hecker, who did have a go at go and stop yesterday, but knocked quite a lot of bollards over. Next up in 17th place, we have Erwin Klein-Nagelvoort, and then Stefan Kirsch alongside him. And then at the back of the grid, making her debut this weekend, the wonderful Emma Mäkinen in the number 28 machine. She's part of Team Schwabentruck for this weekend in the beautiful Madcrock Racing liveried machine. It looks absolutely awesome. So 19 trucks on the grid, the biggest grid we've had this season by quite a few. And like I say, the new additions, unfortunately, starting their weekend at the back of the grid, but we look forward to seeing how they can progress through the order and move forward as each lap ticks on by. Erwin Klein-Nagelvoort is another driver as well that actually took on the Go and Stop competition yesterday. I believe actually he won the competition. And speaking of winning the competition, well, Norbert Kish is down there with Christina eyeing up another race victory.
Absolutely. What is missing is the stop, because Norbert Kish is running, and he's running really fast and really good. So Superpole it is, of course, for you. What are your plans for this race weekend here? Because Nürburgring is so special with all the spectators, over 100,000 fans attending.
Oh, really? That's really nice. Welcome to everybody. And yeah, you know, the plan is the same as always, you know, to try to prepare for the start and then try to have a good start, you know, try to be the first to arrive in turn 1 and try to stay there, you know, and try to win the first race. Obviously, you know, this is the race which is very important for the championship points, because this is 20 points for this race. And yeah, I hope to stay in front and I try to win the race. But, you know, we will see what happens. You know, you never know, because it's always a different challenge. But, you know, we try.
So you made a quick change on your helmet then. Are there any rituals you're doing ahead of every race and which you stuck to?
Not really rituals, you know. I think normal things. To dress up properly. And on the helmet we just fixed the shield, because the screw in the shield was loose a little bit and it was closing on its own. But now it's fine. So, you know, all good.
Thank you very much. And closing on its own. That does not sound so good, Chaz, doesn't it?
No, to be honest with you, you need to be able to see when you're driving a racing truck. So, yeah, rather important that Norby can see where he's going over the course of the weekend. And to be honest with you, as we usually see with Norby, he's going to have quite a lot of clear track in front of him. So I imagine he's going to be rather comfortable when it comes to this first race. It's a very familiar situation for him to be starting at the front of these grids and to run away with proceeding. So you never know. But this place, it's a very difficult circuit. We're doing the Mercedes-Benz Arena at the front at the start of the lap. So the drivers will come down into this very tight hairpin now that we see Lucas, our wonderful official truck driver in the Ford F-Max, making his way around. There is the tight hairpin. I was on track with Lucas this morning, and I was in the Iveco with Frank. But Lucas certainly knows what he's doing in this Ford F-Max. He's an incredible driver, a really top guy as well, a really good laugh. And, of course, our Ford F-Max is the 2019 International Truck of the Year. It's a great, great, big, beautiful blue machine. I absolutely love this thing, and of course I love the Iveco as well. But this inspection lap, of course, provided to us by Ford in this fantastic F-Max, and looks like Lucas has some guests on board as well to take them around the circuit and show them the ropes. And of course this is all used to make sure that there's no debris, no sort of oil or dust or any sort of spillages or anything on the circuit that may affect the racing. And you can see he's smoking up those front tyres as well already, which is great. Lucas really loves to throw the F-Max around. And it's a truck that can deal with it as well. It really is. It's a very robust machine, very powerful, handles really well. It's just absolutely awesome in every way. And look at this grid. I mean, it's absolutely wonderful, isn't it? Look at how full this grid is. It's great to see. We've got fans of all ages all around the circuit this weekend. And that's one of the best things about this truck racing, is that it is so inclusive to everybody. You know, there's not one certain sort of demographic that always fills these paddocks. There's always a lot of families and a lot of different people from all around the industry getting involved and attending these races. And it's always very heartwarming to see. There is Luis Requenco. The Spaniard starts this race 15th on the grid. He's currently not got any points in the championship, unfortunately, but he's pushing hard to get his first points of the season. He had a bit of a tough time at Slovakia Ring, going off a few times at turn 6, which was a particular challenge for a lot of the drivers. But we hope to see him have a good one today. And I'm sure that by the end of the race, he will have worked very, very hard to try and move forward. There is Steffi Halm in the beautiful Team Schwaben truck Iveco. Awesome looking white and orange machine. And there is Ollie, one of our presenters here for the weekend. He's an absolute star in himself as well. A really good laugh. Great entertainment. It was awesome to meet him for the first time yesterday. We've got an insanely talented team of people down here this weekend as well. Everyone behind the scenes on the broadcast doing a great job too, who I must thank for making sure that I'm well looked after here at the circuit. I've got everything I need. And it's all been, touch wood, running smoothly so far. Let's hope that we get the same for our drivers and for our teams. So our wonderful grid girls clear the grid now. And so do all of the teams and personnel. That was a bit of a racing incident there, I think. Now look how empty the grid can look, even with 19 trucks on it, when all the personnel move out of the way. All the hustle and bustle that goes on between all of the vehicles suddenly dissipates. And before long, it will be time for Frank the Tank, as he is known, to lead us away. Camera clearly needing a bit of a clean there, as we have a look down at everyone clearing the grid. And the green flag is ready to be waved at the front of the field. And I'm sure that all of the drivers, especially after having qualifying the day before, will really be anticipating this one. They'll certainly be looking forward to it. There's a lot of suspense built up towards a race like this, especially, like I say, when qualifying is on a different day. You know, we usually have qualifying and then a few hours later we will have the first race of the weekend. But to have that big gap can make a difference mentally to the drivers as well. You know, sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. The drivers can get into their own heads a little bit Other times, you know, it gives them a little bit more breathing room to psych up and get themselves ready for it. And there is the barrier being secured in place, as all the trucks now get ready to leave the grid, and they are doing. So Frank leads us away in our Iveco, then it's Norbert Kish and Adam Lachko on the front row. Adam had quite a good weekend actually at Hungary a few weeks ago. He's got one race win this season. He took that at Hungary. He's taken 3 podiums so far this year. And after having a bit of a slow start to the campaign and a very difficult time at Misano at the start of the season, he's turned it around now and he's got 87 points on the board. He's 20 points clear of the next truck behind him as well, which is Antonio Albacete. Antonio needing a little bit more luck this weekend as well, but he also has a race win this season, and that came at Misano. It was a very popular victory. Good to see Antonio back on the top step once again. But just take it all in and look at this wonderful field we have of all of these trucks. Norby really heating up the rear tyres there, getting it completely sideways. And there's your reminder that our official pace truck, the Iveco S-Way, gorgeous thing, is powered by bio-LNG. So you can see these humongous bio-LNG tanks on the side of it, with the Iveco Natural Power branding on the side. So it is all very sustainable energy as well, which is great. And, you know, you don't really lose any sort of power or any major amounts of torque from having these bio-LNG power plants on the back. And all of our race trucks run on 100% renewable HVO diesel as well. So even they run on a fuel that is very sustainable, very clean, and it is not harmful to the environment. You can see a few of them weaving around a little bit here, which isn't often what we get in this championship. We don't really see a lot of tyre weaving, but maybe they feel the need to try and heat the tyres up somewhat. The last couple of weekends we've had, I mean, Budapest and Slovakia Ring, it's been insanely hot. It's been nearly 30 degrees in Budapest, and then in Slovakia last weekend, it was nearly 40 degrees Celsius. This weekend, it's a little bit cooler, to be honest with you. We're way under 30 degrees anyway, closer to around 22. So it's not been the warmest. There is a bit of heat haze in the air, but the sun occasionally comes out and then goes back in again. I think everybody will try and go single file through the chicane as they make their way around. No, Teo Calve and Andre Kurzim are side by side. Steffi Hallman, Lucas Hahn also doing that as well. And Frank the Tank, last second, he did that this morning, throws it into the pit lane at the last moment. There is a bollard there that you have to avoid, and Frank is such an entertaining guy, he has to do that. Anyway, I'm so glad to finally say that the first race of the weekend in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship from the Nürburgring as part of the International Truck Grand Prix is underway. And it looks like a good start, actually, from Adam Lachko. He stays directly alongside Norbert Kish. Sasha Lenz is giving him a push. I think there might have been a tiny touch between Jamie Anderson and Antonio Albacete. Everybody tries to pile down to the inside into this first hairpin. Such a pinch point on the circuit. Look at them all dive down on the apex. Everybody staying 2 by 2. Sasha Lenz trying to push Norbert Kish along. I think there might have been a tiny bit of contact and a bit more with Adam Lachko there on the left-hand side. Adam's trying to hang it down the inside then through the Mercedes-Benz arena. And it looks all tidy at the front. What's it like at the back? Andre Kurzim, Jamie Anderson and Teo Calve, 3 wide in the middle of the pack. Let's see how they sort themselves out through here. Teo's on the inside. Andre's been lent on. I think he's gone sideways. He's been pushed off the road. He's got to come back on. Teo Calve's gained both places in that situation. He's had a really, really good start as Teo, and he needs that. He really needs the points on the board, so he's going to be pushing as soon as he possibly can. Jamie Anderson's got a problem. Has he suffered from that contact? Has he got some sort of damage? He's definitely lost a couple of places. And this is on board with Stefan Faas. Stefan's got some sort of problem. He can't get it in gear. He's got no drive. No drive by the look of it. Stefan not going anywhere. Oh, that's a real, real shame. Stefan and the team have brought so much camaraderie and entertainment to this weekend already in the paddock and down at the Mühlenbach Schleife. I've still not got that right all weekend. I apologise to everybody I've just offended. Teo Calve up to 6th place, leading the Promoters' Cup. Jamie Anderson down to 10th. He's behind Lucas Hahn as well. Just outside the top 10, we have Rodriguez, and then Brereton, Janiek, Hecker, and of course, Klein Nagavort as well. But this is on board with Sascha Lenz. 3rd place, exactly where he started this race, with Adam Lachko in front of him. Norbert Kish leads them across the line then at the end of lap 1 of 12. Sascha moving all the way over to the right-hand side to try and get some clean air down the start-finish straight. And it looks like we have lost Stefan Fass, unfortunately, in Sector 2. Oh, he is still continuing, actually. He's just come through the chicane. He's just very slowly crept around the end of the lap. That puts Emma Mäkinen up a position into 18th. There's a beautiful drone shot of the Mercedes-Benz Arena. You can see just how tight it is in there. And look at the scenery around this place. It is absolutely marvellous. So good to be back here with this championship once more. Jamie Anderson has just dropped another place to Rodriguez. Rodriguez just went through down the inside in the left-hander. So Jamie, I think, clearly got some damage from the initial moments. There's Adam Lachko. Well, there's stones and gravel and all sorts coming off the back of his truck. Sascha Lenz is now climbing all over the back of him as well. There's a lot of stones and dust all around the circuit. Just trying to have a look at Jamie Anderson's machine, see if there's any damage on it. Is there an issue? Yes, the right rear tyre. The right rear tyre is down completely. So these trucks have 2 wheels on each side on the rear. They have a 4-wheeled rear axle, so they can carry on if the outside tyre goes down because of contact, but at a severely reduced pace. And the 3 of them, well, it was him, Teo Calve and Andre Kurzin were 3 wide. And obviously the contact came through the tight right-hander as they came out of the Mercedes-Benz Arena. And there, look, further down the order, Louis Requenco having a quick go at the number 32 machine of Stefan Kirsch. There's Antonio Alberthetti in the T-Sport Bernau machine. Very pretty, number 23, MAN. They're having quite the strong weekend so far. They've got a lot of guests here as well with their hospitality this weekend. A number of the teams are entertaining a massive amount of people over the course of the weekend. It's great to see. The team's really looking after their customers and guests and sponsors very well. And look, Jamie is unfortunately a bit of a sitting duck there as Shane Brereton goes through. But this is inside the top 4. Jochen Hahn just behind Sascha Lenz, Antonio Alberthetti just behind Jochen Hahn. The 2 of them, 2 of the oldest guys on the grid, but not necessarily a bad thing. They're 2 of the wisest guys on the grid as well. Antonio Alberthetti at the age of 57 at the start of this season. Jochen Hahn 10 years younger, but still, the guys have been doing this for a mighty long time. This is also, by the way, the 100th race start for Shane Brereton. This is his 100th race in the championship. He's currently running in 12th position. Finds himself 5th in the Promoters' Cup. But we see now Norbert Kish opening up an advantage at the front of the field like he always does. He's 2.5 seconds clear of Adam Lachko at the moment, as they've all broken through the first sector beam. There's another reminder for you. All of this racing is done on 100% renewable HVO diesel, so it's good, clean fun. And it's great, clean action as well. I mean, we have a wonderful amount of entertaining races in this championship. And look at how tight the chicane is here at the end of the lap. And I can tell you, those curbs are no joke. They are very big, very steep curbs to clatter these trucks over the top of. This is a very, very interesting view from Sascha Lenz's point. You can just see how close they get together into certain braking zones, and then they spread out once again down the straight. Sascha Lenz moves over to the right. Now the trucks, if you haven't seen them before, are governed to 100 miles an hour, 160 kilometers an hour, so they cannot exceed that speed just on safety grounds. So if they do, then they can get a penalty after a warning or 2. But there's no point in sitting behind the truck in front of you. You know, there is no point sitting directly behind them. You may as well get out of the slipstream, turn over to the right-hand side or the left-hand side, wherever you may be on the straight, and get all of that cool air into the front of your own truck. That's what you may as well focus on. And right now, Sascha Lenz is focusing on trying to stay with Adam Lachko. Adam's got really good pace around here. Now, there was a red and yellow flag for a moment there. Not quite sure whether that's something to do with Stefan Fast's issue earlier on, whether his truck, in whatever failure it had, has put some sort of fluid down on the road. But look at this quartet here, all stuck right together behind Adam Lachko in the gorgeous Bagheera ZM Racing Freightliner. Looks like he runs a little bit wide through the left-hander there, which is the Michelin curver, and then the bit curver, which is the right-hander down the hill. This is very close indeed. Sasha moves over to the right-hand side, makes it clear that he wants to try and come through. There's an incident between Shane Brereton and Stefan Fass under investigation. I wonder whether that might be part of what caused Stefan's failure on the Technical 24 machine. Sasha Lenz looks down the inside into the chicane, but no, doesn't go for the move. I think he's just trying to scare Adam Lachko at this point, just put him off and just prove the point that he's piling the pressure on. 3 different manufacturers in this quartet. Sasha Lenz locks up, runs wide into the final corner. Jochen Hahn puts his nose down the inside, gets alongside, does he? Not sure if the overlap was still there, but we've got the Freightliner, the MANs of Sasha Lenz and Antonio Albacete, then the Iveco of Jochen Hahn. Jochen moves to the right-hand side as they go back down the straight. In the background, Teo Calve is just ahead of Steffi Halm. There's a humongous mud guard there, one of the wheel guards left at the side of the road on the exit of the hairpin. So somebody has definitely received some big contact at some point. It looked also like Antonio Albacete went a bit wide out of turn 1 as well just a moment ago. Look how close Sasha Lenz is to the back of Adam Lachko. He could pretend he was a trailer on the back of the Freightliner. You can see the penalty marker there, wobbling around in the wind. Certainly looks like Antonio has dropped off slightly from this little battle. I can't say it enough how cool the Freightliners are. That shape looks so convincing. And again, look there, Jamie Anderson, you can see losing a position further down the order. He's lost a place to Heinrich Clemens Hecker already on this lap. Louis Requenco, I think, has also lost a place. Erwin Klein-Nagelvoort has gone through. Here's a look back at the start then. You can see Lachko is completely alongside all the way down the straight. Yes, there is contact. That's what causes the damage to Jamie Anderson then. I think he tries to move into the gap on the right-hand side. There's contact with Antonio. So it wasn't necessarily the contact with Teo Calve and Andre Kurzim that caused this problem, but that initial touch even down the start-finish straight. You can see the tyre has actually gone down already on Jamie Anderson. He then gives another love tap to Antonio. There's another view of the first corner. Look at them all pile through there. It's fantastic, isn't it? Amazing that they can all keep it pretty tidy through there. Jamie was really stuck in the middle, not able to squeeze his way through. Here's Lucas Hahn. Iveco versus Iveco. Lucas on the back of Andre Kurzim right now. Lucas started the race 10th on the grid. He's moved up to 9th. We're now on to lap 6 of the race. And Norbert Kish continuing to lead the way in a very convincing fashion. The gap now up to 3.2 seconds. And it looks like he's going to continue to extend that, especially with the pressure that Adam Lachko is coming under from all of those drivers behind him. There's another wonderful view from our drone with the excellent scenery around the circuit. We've got a fantastic amount of camera angles for you this weekend. Most notably as well is our wonderful judicial review smart witness cameras that we have on board all of our racing trucks. They help the stewards and all of the race officials to check over any incidents that have gone on and get everybody's perspective, but it also provides us with a fantastic onboard. And we get the chance to see it exactly from the windscreen of these trucks. One of the benefits of truck racing, with the cabs being right at the front, means that when you do get an onboard camera, there's nothing obstructing your view. You are right in the windscreen, and the smart witness cameras help us get right up to the front and close with the action. Still, this quartet moves on, though, towards the end of the lap. And they are right together through the chicane. Look how close all of that was. Still once more through the final corner. And they all spread out. You can see them 2 by 2 down the straight, almost like a staggered grid. And that's all about staying out of the air and making sure you're in clean air. You know, you don't want to sit in the hot gases coming out the back of these trucks. Of course, clean gases at that. But Sasha Lenz, well, he's fed up of sitting behind Adam Lachko now, by the look of it. The body language looking a lot more racy, looking back down the inside. And apparently there's more damage to Jamie Anderson's truck than meets the eye as well. Apparently there's an issue with the cooling at the moment. So he's having to be careful about the temperatures, as well as the tyre itself, which has gone down on the right rear. Look at Sasha Lenz all over the back of Adam Lachko once more. And Lucas Hahn still all over the back of Andrei Kurzim. Shane Brereton still going well as well. He's in 11th place, trying to stay with Jose Rodriguez. You can see Lucas has taken a bit of a chunk out of the front of his truck there, maybe on the back of Andrei Kurzim. And it is confirmed that Stefan Fast just had no power whatsoever. The truck did not want to get going, so they've had some sort of engine-related issue there, which is a big shame. And Jamie Anderson is actually pulled over and is out of the race now. He came in on the previous lap and has decided to call it quits, which is, again, a huge shame to lose Jamie, especially with how well he's doing in the Promoters' Cup. This will certainly close things up, though. Teo Calve, he's having a great race in 6th position overall. Now, they get points in the Promoters' Cup based on their position in that class, so Teo won't get extra points for being 3 places ahead of Lucas Hahn. However, he will, of course, score more points by winning the class. And with 2 other drivers in between him and Shane Brereton, that's going to help really level things out. The 3 of them coming into this are only separated by 26 points. So with Jamie being out of the race, then there is going to be a big change. And speaking of them, big changes, Sasha Lenz has dropped a place to Jochen Hahn. He gives Antonio absolutely nowhere to go through the Mercedes arena. But Jochen Hahn moves himself up into a podium position in the opening section of the circuit. Very well done to Jochen. Seems like Sasha maybe used the tyres up a little bit too much, trying to get past Lachko. Here is the move. So down the inside, a big send down the inside by Jochen. And oh, he locks up on the brakes. The 2 of them bounce off each other. Beautiful, beautiful synchronized drifting around there. And then Jochen, to be fair to him, moved all the way over to the right-hand side to make sure that Sasha still had the room to come back on. It is a shame to see a position determined by contact, but at the end of the day, it wasn't too malicious. It was just a big chuck up the inside by Jochen. Here's an onboard. You'll see suddenly, bang, there. The truck goes sideways. There's not really any weight over the back of these trucks in comparison to the front, so they are able to kick the rear end out quite a lot. Look at that, Jochen cutting the nose off Sasha Lenz as they go through the left-hander once more. But we are on lap 8 out of 12 now. We're into the final third of the race. There's the number 32 machine, Stefan Kirsch, and then Emma Mäkinen in the number 28 Iveco. Possibly the best livery in the championship, that. It looks absolutely awesome, doesn't it? The young Finn is debuting this weekend in European truck racing. She's raced before in quite a lot of touring car action, actually, over in Finland. She used to race in the V1600 Finnish Championship from 2014 to 2018. She's won a National Endurance Cup as well. And she's the daughter of Mika Mäkinen, who is a long-standing racing truck driver. So it's great to see new blood on the grid as well. And as mentioned, this is Emma's very first race in the truck, her first weekend. Just getting used to how it behaves and making sure that she can get the most out of the truck and get it to her liking before we hopefully see her make more regular appearances in the series. The same can be said about the drivers ahead of her as well, Stefan Kirsch and Erwin Klein-Nagelvoort. It's great to have them with us this weekend, and we hope to see them back for future rounds. It's always good to bolster the numbers in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Speaking of bolstering the numbers, Norbert Kish currently leads this race by 4.1 seconds now. He continues to extend that gap at the very front of the field. Jochen Hahn isn't too far behind Adam Lachko, though. I'm intrigued to see whether Jochen, in the final couple of laps, can maybe try and make a move on the number 55. And here they are then, sweeping through the right-hander. You can hear the wonderful Joachim Eberts as well in the background there over the circuit tannoy. I met EB for the first time this weekend in person. He's an absolute star, a really good laugh. A really good laugh. He was commentating yesterday on the go and stop that was going on. And he made that also incredibly entertaining. So, Antonio Alberthetti now suddenly putting Sascha Lenz under pressure. I'm wondering whether Sascha has overworked the tyres a little bit too much and he's just not quite got the pace towards the end of the race. Either way, it's an intriguing situation. Look at that for a fantastic view up there on top of the main pit building here at the Nürburgring. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times I have to say this is such a beautiful place. Down in the pit lane, we have Christina. You got some news for us, Christina?
Yes, we do see the truck of Stefan Faas in the paddock, and also Jamie Anderson. As you might have noticed in our TV graphics, you've seen that he was one lap behind, and right now the truck is back in the paddock. This is the information for you, Chaz, and we're trying to keep on going here and try to get further information. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Christina. Thank you as well to the wonderful team we have here on production, sorting us out with picture-in-picture. And, well, the big picture at the moment is Norbert Kish leading this race, continuing to put in impressive lap after impressive lap. He did a 1:56.3 last time round, you know, and a number of the guys inside the top 5 did 55.7s and 55.8s, actually. Hahn, Lenz and Alberthetti all doing 55s. Everybody else in the field is doing 56 and 57. And Christina is there with Jamie now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a shame you dropped out the first race this weekend. What happened?
Yeah, we seem to have some collision on the start. Maybe had a bit better pace than Jochen off the start, and tried to, instead of isolating myself behind him, move Antonio over a little bit. Whether that caused us to have the flat tyre at the back, which was okay, but then we started losing excessive coolant, which made it like an ice ring. So the boys told me to pull in, and at that point there, it's not repairable for us to continue and make it feasible, which is a shame. In the first race, we had good pace. And I could feel something was wrong because of the way that people were catching me and the lack of grip on the back end. So it's a shame, but we'll come back in race 2 fighting. It just makes us more with a bit between our teeth to come from the back. But this is the way racing goes. We've had a brilliant start from the last couple of rounds, but this round, the first race, probably is just a bit of a joker for us. But it'll be okay, and we'll fight from there.
Thank you very much, Jamie Anderson.
We've had a big moment, and straight on into turn 1 has gone Sascha Lenz. He's had some sort of problem. The truck just completely stopped steering, went in a straight line. I was wondering whether that might have been something to do with the reason he was dropping so much pace earlier on. He just didn't seem to have the pace in the truck, and all of a sudden it's just gone straight on and into the gravel. Now we're on lap 11 out of 12 here. The counter in the top left tells us how many laps we've completed, so I'm not sure if we would delay something in the race here and bring the pace truck out maybe. I think something breaks there. I think the steering breaks as he drops down that drop in turn 1. You could see the wheels completely straighten up. Here's a view from on board. So he turns in. Now the hairpin really drops away. Look at how Jochen Hahn's truck behaves there, and bang, as soon as it hits the ground, it's broken. He's lucky to not go in the barrier. He stops it very quickly, but that truck is in quite a precarious position on the exit of that corner. They may just cover that with yellow flags for the final lap so we can get the race completed under full pace, really. But that is a humongous shame for Sascha Lenz. He was looking forward to a very strong weekend of points at his home circuit. But the thing is, as Jamie said a moment ago, that's how racing goes sometimes, and both of those trucks from that same camp will have a lot of work to do before the day is done. Norbert Kish rounds the final corner and crosses the line to start what will be the final lap of the race here in the first race of the weekend at the Nürburgring. Wonderful shots from our drone, giving us an extra camera angle of proceedings. And you can see Antonio Albacetti's truck there with quite a bit of damage on the front left. Now that was wobbling around all over the place in the earlier stages as well, to be fair. So it's been quite ongoing, that issue. You can see a green flag on the exit of turn 1 there. So that clearly means that they've covered turn 1 with yellows or double waved yellows for now, just to make sure that nobody overtakes and that people potentially reduce their pace at that section of the course. But Norbert Kish, once again, is going to start his weekend in emphatic fashion by the look of it. He's done an amazing job so far in this race. Leads by just about 3.1 seconds. I think he's taken his foot off the gas slightly in these later stages. Adam Lachko's done really well to hold on to second place as well. He's had strong pace throughout this one. Had to do quite a bit of defending earlier on, but now he remains in second place. And Jochen Hahn is looking to grab the podium at his home race as well, with all of the fantastic Iveco people here as well. They're looking after a massive amount of guests this weekend too. But up to the final chicane once more. We have our reigning champion and triple champion, Norbert Kish. He's won 8 races so far this season out of the 12 that we've had. And it looks like he's going to make it 9 races that he's won out of 13. Round the final corner he goes. The crowd will absolutely love it as Norbert kicks the back end out, as he always does. Flamboyant as ever, Norbert Kish wins the first race of the weekend at the Nürburgring. Awesome drive by Norby, flashes the lights, sounds the horn. Adam Lachko gets some strong points in second place ahead of Jochen Hahn and Antonio Albacetti, and a top 5 for Teo Calve. Fantastic performance by Teo. He was very under the radar towards the end, and look at that battle behind. Steffi Halm, Andrei Kurzim, Lucas Hahn, Jose Rodriguez and Shane Brereton round out your top 10. Well, Norbert Kish will be over the moon with that. It's a very special event for these drivers, and to win a race here will mean a lot. And I know that he will be certainly pleased at what that means for the championship as well. Because as he spoke about earlier with Christina, in the first race of the weekend, you get more championship points than you do for the second one. So for the second race, you get 10 points for a win, and then throughout the top 10, it just goes 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But in the first race, you get 20 points for taking an overall victory. Across the line there comes Stefan Kirsch and Emma Mäkinen to complete the field. And in that one, we lost Sasha Lenz, Jamie Anderson and Stefan Faas. But a very entertaining race to get the weekend underway. We hope you enjoyed that one, and of course we will get the reactions from the drivers in just a few minutes' time when they make their way into the pits. Christina will be on hand with interviews as well, and then we'll bring you the podiums. Not too much damage on the trucks either after that race. There's a few of them with a couple of body panels missing on the sort of front corners, but they're made to break away, so they're not flapping around too much throughout the entire race. And that was really, really good fun, I'd say. We hope, of course, you can join us for the next race of the weekend, which will come later on today. We have 4 of them over the weekend. It's always a busy weekend with the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. And in just a moment, I believe we will have a look at some of the results before we then get a reaction from the drivers as they pull into the pit lane. Here are your results then. Norbert Kish wins by 3.4 seconds. Jochen Hahn is just behind Adam Lachko. Adam doing an amazing job in that one. Jochen grabs a podium on home soil. Antonio Albacetti in 4th. Teo Calve, he'll be absolutely over the moon with that. 5th place overall. Very well done to Teo. Good to see him turn his look around. Steffi Helm finishes 6th ahead of Andrei Kurzim, with Lucas Hahn in 8th position, completing a German trio at the front of that fantastic battle. Jose Rodriguez takes 2nd place in the Promoters' Cup, with Shane Brereton getting a podium in 10th position. Anthony Janiak is next up. He's ahead of Heinrich Clemens Hecker in 12th position. Erwin Klein-Nagelvor is in 13th. Then we have Louis Requenco, Stefan Kirsch and Emma Mäkinen. And Sasha Lenz is classified in 17th place, but 2 laps down on the finishing order. So Norby pulls into Park Ferme just behind the pit garages. Adam Lachko pulls over to his right-hand side and takes the number 2 spot. And then the other side of them in just a moment, I believe we will see Norbert, not Norbert Kish, Jochen Hahn, apologies, Jochen. And there he is. 3 different manufacturers in the top 3 as well, which is awesome to see. Great diversity in this championship between these gorgeous machines. And they are all fantastic in their own way. There's our wonderful cameraman Lewis over to the left-hand side. He's been our drone pilot as well at the European Truck Racing Championship races. He's a very, very good drone pilot as well, I have to add. But Norbert Kish, well, he's opened the door. He's just making sure everything is all shut down properly and everything is all done. And then he will hop out in just a moment and I'm sure be a very happy man. Adam Lachko there speaking with his team. Getting some congratulations as well after a great second place to start his weekend. And here comes Norby now. Jumps down out of the MAN, the beautiful Revesh racing machine. He's having a look at the tyres as well, maybe just to see if, could he have pushed that little bit harder? You never know, do you? You never know. He gives a congratulations to Adam. Says hello to Bagheera. And in just a moment, he's going to say hello to Christina.
Just give him the time to take off his helmet. And the team arrived, so let's have him the celebration with his team over here. As you can see, the podium is at a different space. Congrats. So Norbert Kish, preparations for the interview, cap on. And 20 points in the books, as you said to me earlier. This is an important race, the first race this weekend. Congrats to this 20 points. How important are those?
Yeah, it's always very important, and yeah, I am happy with the race. Start was good, performance was good throughout the whole race. So yeah, rather calm again because I see. Adam and Sasha and Johan started to fight a little bit behind me, and I think it was very exciting. And I am really sorry for Sasha that he couldn't finish the race. It's always a difficult thing, but yeah, I mean, we take the victory for sure.
Absolutely. Sasha Lenz, Stefan Faas and Jamie Anderson unfortunately out of this first race. But this is racing, great competition. You said it earlier, Jochen Hahn, also one of the local heroes, also competing and on the podium with you as well. The Nürburgring is so special for you. How motivated are you to get going and also for race 2? Which experience do you got right now? Because qualifying is one thing, but race is of course another experience on this special track.
Yeah, like I said, it was working very well in the end of the race as well, and I could save the tires a little bit, for the second race in the last 2 laps or so, and yeah, it was good. But yeah, obviously the reverse grid race is always very special and difficult, but we will try to make the most of that too, and see if we can make up some places in the special circuit because it's really nice, and I see there's a lot of people on the grandstands, like all around the circuit. The grandstands are full. So yeah, really happy to be here and to race in front of those crowds. So yeah, really happy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Off to the podium. The podium is in between Innovation Cap and the Goodyear tire stand. And this is also the greetings. Chaz, up to you right now. We saw lots of highlights during this race.
Yeah, definitely. It was a very, very entertaining race indeed. Lots going on up and down the order. Some fantastic battles all the way. All of the fans were ready for the action this afternoon, and it did not disappoint, did it? We had a massive grid lined up of 19 machines and our wonderful, wonderful official truck, the Ford F-Max, doing a great job to do the inspection. Everybody got underway nice and tidy. Adam Lachko did a great job in the early stages to hold on ahead of Sasha Lenz. Jochen Hahn right behind, though, piling the pressure on all the way through. Even Lucas Hahn as well putting pressure on himself and Andrei Kurzim. Some beautiful shots of the entire circuit there. Sasha Lenz unfortunately losing out to Jochen Hahn, who would later then have a failure down at turn 1 and go straight on into the gravel, luckily not into the barrier. But Norbert Kisch would take a big advantage in the championship points now with a win ahead of Adam Lachko and Jochen Hahn. As you can see, it's very, very busy down in the paddock. There's a wonderful amount of people here, and everybody is in such high spirits, such a positive vibe down there. Great weather as well. I can't tell you how amazing it is to be here. If you ever do get the chance to come over to Germany, come to the Nürburgring and visit the ADAC Truck Grand Prix, I urge you to do it. It is an amazing event. Even if, you know, by whatever means, if truck racing is not your thing, I honestly urge you just to come to witness the event and just enjoy yourself for a weekend away here at the track. There's so much going on, so much entertainment. There is no shortage of action and great people to see. You can see Norby's going to get a ride with Lucas Antoni over to the podium. I think Lewis is going to try to jump on with Norby. We get a very close-up view with Norby.
It's dangerous. Yeah.
And you can see the glamour of making your way through the paddock as a race winner.
Am I live? Yeah, you're live.
I actually saw Norby last weekend as well at Budapest. I was there commentating on another championship, and Norby was there as Mr. Revesh. His son actually races in another championship as well, and Norby was there supporting him with Mr. Revesh himself. And it was fantastic to have a chat with Norby when it wasn't a racing weekend. You know, he doesn't have all of the pressure or anything on of performing himself. Oh, looks like Lewis has fallen off the golf cart now. Either that or he's still clinging on for dear life. He's very committed, is Lewis, bless him.
Where is the podium? Do you know where is the podium?
And I mean, I'm thinking the same thing, Norby. Where is the podium? It is between the Innovation Camp and all of the Goodyear Cup. Sorry, all of the Goodyear branding. Oh, Christina is down there with Sasha, I've been told. Christina.
Yeah, you unfortunately dropped out. What happened?
The spring in the front left, it's broken in the corner for the Mercedes Arena. So yeah, it's live. Shit happens.
Absolutely. Was it due to contact or just broke? When?
On the beginning, I have a small contact with Adam, and then in the race, Jochen gave me a one on the axle, maybe a little bit. I don't know. Now it's broken. Now it's DNF. So.
But you can fix it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Keep your head up high. Thank you very much. And as you said, that's racing, unfortunately, as well.
Yes, indeed, and it's a real shame to have lost Sasha from the race. Theo Calve giving a very animated view of what happened in the race there, and obviously the contact between some of them. He was 3 wide early on with Jamie Anderson and Andre Kurzim. But look at the amount of people here, though, for the podium presentation. I'm not even sure if Lewis is going to be able to get through it all, to be honest with you. So many people around. It's great. Really, really great. And a completely packed paddock full of drivers and everybody enjoying themselves in the sunshine this weekend. It's not the hottest of days, like I've said, but still, it's good to see everyone all together. Lucas Hahn is on the podium as well in the Promoters' Cup. Unfortunately, I apologise to Lucas and, of course, to Shane Brereton and his team. I mentioned earlier that Shane had a Promoters' Cup podium, but, of course, Jose Rodriguez gets the final podium spot. Lucas Hahn finishing second on that Promoters' Cup podium as well. So a good start to his weekend and his championship. It's the first time we've had Lucas out on track this year. There he is on the right-hand side. And now they will call the drivers up to the podium. First off, we're going to do the overall podium, the top 3 from the race, and then we will do the Promoters' Cup podium after that, the top 3 in that category, respectively. And there is Jochen Hahn. Janine pointing him out. Jochen should be the first one to go up to the podium and make his way up to the 3rd spot. And it's all going to be presented by EB as well, our wonderful Joachim Eberts. He's great at getting a crowd going as well, I have to say. If there's one thing I can compliment EB on, despite his fantastic beard, is actually the fact that he can really get a crowd going. So let's see what the round of applause is like for Jochen Hahn. Jochen's an absolute superstar over here in Germany. And another podium to add to his already impressive tally, which I can tell you totals 266 now in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Adam Lachko, he joins him on the second step. That's his 164th podium. So Jochen still with just over 100 podiums over Adam at this current stage. But once again, with a big smile on his face in front of the fans, another win for Norbert Kisch. He makes his way up onto the top step. And it's another good start to the day for Norby. And now the trophies given out individually. Jochen Hahn receives his third place trophy, holds it high with pride. And then on the left-hand side of the shot, Adam Lachko, the Czech racer, takes another bit of silverware home for the Bagheera ZM Racing team. You can see one of their media guys at the bottom there, as Norbert Kisch receives the race winner's trophy for the first race of the weekend in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. And right now they are playing the national anthem. I unfortunately can't hear it from this end, so I apologise if I am speaking over it. But there is your podium, everybody. And we'll let the national anthem play out. And then, of course, we will have champagne. And there you go, the Hungarian national anthem for Norbert Kisch, and another great bit of silverware for him to take home from a very successful start to the weekend. They'll now pose for pictures, and then we'll have the routine changing of the caps in just a moment. They're all looking in every different direction for the a million amount of cameras that they all have. There is the beautiful, very shiny trophy in the hands of Norbert Kisch. They change the hats and take yet more pictures with their own branding as opposed to the Goodyear branding. And I doubt that anybody will get properly soaked here by champagne. It'll often be the fans that are going to get soaked here. Let's see how they go. Our cameraman runs for cover. And yes, of course, it's all the fans and the media people that get drenched by Norbert Kisch. Jochen Hahn joining in as well. Adam Lachko getting all of his guys over on the right-hand side too. To be fair, you ask for it if you're wearing a pink vest. Oh, that poor bloke on the floor. He got soaked. When you wear the pink media vest, you're just asking to be soaked. I got drenched yesterday during the podium celebration for Go and Stop when I put my own GoPro at risk. But still, it's all in good fun. There's a hat for somebody. I think it almost went backwards there, didn't it? A young fan ends up with a cap. That's a good day out, isn't it? And Norbert Kisch, I believe, giving a hat away as well to a young fan. Great stuff. The fans always get something back here from these events. You know, it's always good to see. And there's Sina down there as well from the FIA. It's his birthday today. And we hope that he's having a really good day. I saw him last night for a quick drink in the bar to celebrate his birthday. As it ticked over to midnight, we were all singing happy birthday to him. And now we go on to the Promoters' Cup podium. And Jose Rodriguez is the first driver up. He goes into third spot as the champagne bottles are very hurriedly put onto the podium. There's Dominic as well, making his way over to the left. Again, Dominic is another man that I never see standing still. He's always moving, always doing something. He's fantastic. Lewis makes his way into position as well. And we get our second place finisher on the podium, Lucas Hahn in the Promoters' Cup. Great to see Lucas back out on track. Great to see him up there on the podium as well. He's such a fantastic character. Always very friendly, always happy to see me as well, which is great. But our winner in the Promoters' Cup this weekend, Teo Calve. That is exactly what Teo needs. He's had a really poor, bad luck start to the season. And he is back on the top step in the Promoters' Cup once again. The young Frenchman is a real star in these trucks. And like I say, when I was speaking to Fabien Calvet yesterday, and he said about wherever this black cat was that was causing them bad luck, they've finally gotten rid of it, I think. And the trophies are given out. Jose Rodriguez probably thinking, where's mine? And there you go, he is presented with his third place trophy in the Promoters' Cup in the first race of the weekend. And very well done, Theo Calvet, a top 5 overall, as well as a really, really good result for him. And we should get the French national anthem now. And there you go. You could just see the smile on Theo Calvet's face there as the national anthem started playing. This win means a lot to him. And it helps him out hugely in the championship. And Jose Rodriguez was very eager with the champagne there, to be honest. I think we could all see Lucas thinking there, there's not room for me on this this podium. Lucas is a very built guy. He's fantastic. Now, Jose, he says, now you can have your champagne. And everybody gets absolutely soaked and all runs for cover. A fantastic leap there by Theo Calvet. Very elegant. Lovely stuff. Good camaraderie once again between all the drivers, finishing on the 2 podiums that we get to see here at the Nürburgring. And I imagine that's one very slippery podium. Another young fan gets a hat from Lucas Hahn. Definitely another absolute star of the future in this championship. And, well, we've seen some very happy drivers right now. Not many of them happier than Theo Calvet, who is down there with Christina.
Absolutely, a big, big smile from Theo Calvet here, and the great trophy as well. Congratulations. Our commentator just said there was kind of a black cloud, but it's gone away, and we're standing in the sun right now, aren't we?
Yeah, that's true. Now, finally, I had good position. I finished 5th, so yeah, it feels so good to be back on the top position. I'm really happy. I won the Goodyear Cup for this race, so yeah, we cannot dream better, honestly.
Absolutely, the winner of the Promoters' Cup. This is the trophy. So the track was very special, as you said earlier, but you challenged yourself due to the best qualifying time then, and as you said, during the race. How did you manage to be so safe?
Yeah, honestly, I feel really good since the beginning of the weekend. You know, I took all the bad thing out from the past weeks, and now I focus on what will arrive. And yeah, I'm very happy, honestly. And yeah, I feel so good since 2 days, and I really like this track. It's a special one, and to win here in Nürburgring, it's something special. So I'm really happy.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Theo Calvet. Let's have a look and chat with Lucas Hahn over here. Hi, Lucas. Congrats. The podium and the trophy at Nürburgring. This might be so special for you.
Yeah, it's really amazing to be here at Nürburgring. It's the home Grand Prix. And yeah, it's really amazing to be here and at the first race also on the podium. It's amazing. It's nice. Yeah.
So that was a white towel then from Adam Latchko. You start from pole position, race 2 with a reverse grid, of course. This is also good news for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the first time that I start from the pole positions. And yeah, we will look what we can do. I will do my best, and hopefully we can drive home the win at the Nürburgring.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Lucas Hahn, and also Jochen Hahn on the podium, and Lucas. It's a family business, isn't it, Chas?
It really is, and it's great to see Lucas. Like I say, I honestly have so much time for Lucas. He's such a lovely guy, and he is definitely a rising star in the series. But it's the fact that, you know, he's so respectful about the whole series and how his dad does his racing and how he does his. You know, I'm really excited for this afternoon to see how Lucas can do from the front row of the grid. You know, I think there's a lot of potential there for Lucas to, if not win, get very, very close to a win, maybe even have an overall podium as well. And that's the beauty of these reverse grids that we get in this championship. You know, it really mixes the order up sometimes. It makes it fair for some of the teams that are maybe a little bit further down the order, and the drivers that put the effort in to get inside the top 10 and have that really strong run. You know, they can put in some epic performances and grab some strong points. You can see everybody dissipating away now in their own directions to go to their respective awnings and tents and camps and wherever. And it's a very, very busy paddock, but a strong first race, I have to say, but a big turn in the championship, meaning that Jochen Hahn is now only 1 point behind Sascha Lenz in second place, who loses a lot more points to Norbert Kish. But that's all from me for now for the first race of the day. I've been Charles Draycott, everybody, and I will see you again very soon. But back to you now, Christina.
Thank you very much, Chas. And you're here at the Nürburgring, so we see each other in a couple of seconds then. We started ahead of race 1 in the Innovation Camp, and now we're going to finish after race 1 at the Innovation Camp. We're going to see lots of good stuff coming up. Race number 2 with Lucas Hahn starting from a pole position. Kind of everyone is happy. Of course, we were very sad that we lost 3 drivers, we lost 3 trucks then after race 1, but still lots of things coming up for us. It's race 2 on this Saturday. Until there, lots of time for all the spectators here to get the pens out and get some autographs, maybe us as well. There's an autograph session at 2 o'clock then here, but please tune in for our live streams later on ahead of race 2. We will be so glad and so happy to see you all back there. So thank you very much. I'm Christina Rann, and we do see each other soon. Bye-bye.